After checking that all your hose connections are secured and that there are no leaks, it's time to turn on the torch. No matter the maker or design of the torch, we will always start propane and then go to oxygen when turning it on. So we're gonna give just a little bit of propane, enough to ignite a little bit of a pilot light using a striker or a lighter. We wanna make sure to dial that flame back to where it's touching the head of the torch. Otherwise, whenever we initiate the oxygen, it'll blow out the flame. Now that our propane's running, time to move on to oxygen. These GTTs have 2 rings of oxygen around 1 propane, just to add more precision to the flame. If you also have a GTT torch, I always start with the inner oxygen because it's a little bit easier to actually get the torch started. Which, in order to get to a working flame, you may need to add more propane in order to then add more oxygen to grow your flame slowly. You want to look out for if there's too much flame or if there's a clear spot. You want a nice baby blue color for a nice working flame. To show you the versatility of this torch, here's about as small of a flame as you could get, and to show how big of a flame we can get, I'll need to turn on the second stage of the torch. Just like how we turned it on, starting with propane, moving on to oxygen. You want to look out for adding too much oxygen at once, because it'll start to disconnect the flames from the head of the torch. If that happens, just dial back the oxygen a little bit, add a little bit more propane, then add your oxygen again. Now to get this to a good working flame, we're going to mess with the propane and oxygen knobs, looking out for if there's too much flame or if there is a clear spot. Dial it into that perfect baby blue color. So when we're all done working and wanting to turn off the flame, we will do the opposite way of how we turned it on. We'll start with oxygen and then go to propane. And when tightening down these knobs, there's no need to crank on them just until they stop. Now that the flame's off, it's time to stop the flow of oxygen and propane at the tanks. Turning these all the way closed just until they stop. Now it's time for some tubing care. We're going to release all the pressure in the tubes. That way they don't crack due to the gases expand inside. As you can see, whenever you turn the oxygen and propane on, the pressure drops in the regulator, turning it to 0. You can do what I do, turn all the knobs on, make sure the foot pedal's on, wait till you stop hearing the hissing coming out of the torch, and then make sure to turn everything off. If you found this video helpful, leave a like and follow. Check out more of our videos at M&K Hot Glass, and I can't wait to see your studio and your art grow together.